Yeah.
Hey everyone, how's it going? Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, or just Happy Holidays, whichever you celebrate. Just wanted to make a video since I'm back in the States now, and this video is going to show the configuration settings that I'm running for Guild Wars 2. It's been requested for me, so I thought, why not? Let's go ahead and jump right in. So here we have my character. Let's go to the options menu. In-game clock, I have it set to local time, so when I'm looking at the bottom right side of my screen, I'm able to see what time it is. A content guide, I have it off so it doesn't clutter my screen too much. Side note, if you're working on map completion, if you click on hide events and personal story, it's a great way to have a sort of mini GPS to guide you to where you need that last vista, that POI, just something to note. Next thing, AoE loot on interact, auto loot, I have it enabled just so that I don't have to go to a single body or every body that I've killed to pick up items. I just have to click F on interact and I can forget about it. I disable all the names of enemies, NPCs, and player names just so that it's not cluttering up my screen. I just like to, not show it and see the game for itself. That's just my personal taste. You can have it enabled if you want. I also don't have disable closing windows with escape. I like to be able to close my windows with escape. Thank you very much. Show skill recharge is pretty important as well. Whenever I'm using a skill, let's say my blinding powder for example, I would like to see the exact timer as to when it's going to come off cooldown. I don't want to have a guessing game when I'm playing this game, especially when it comes to PvP or challenging content. Next up, I disabled simple party UI just because I prefer the default party UI. I think it looks clean already. And then I also disabled show simple condition floaters because I want to see where are the condition damage coming from and exactly which ones they are. Rotation speed, I have it set at about 40%. That's, in my opinion, a good speed of rotation whenever I'm moving my camera around. If I put it too high, I think my camera speed goes a little too quick. I didn't fiddle with the positions. I think it's a pretty good position where my camera's at right now. Collision sensitivity is something that I recommend to probably move all the way to the right, just because I hate it whenever my camera keeps jumping from in and out, zooming in whenever I'm moving past, whether it's a tree, a fence, a pillar. By having it all the way up here, your camera will less likely be jumping around whenever you have objects in the way of it. So that's something that's good. Zoom sensitivity, I have it set at most. It doesn't really affect you too much, or it doesn't affect me too much. A field of view, I have it set on max so I can see the most from my screen. You can also, if you don't like that angle of how far back it looks, you can always set the field of view much closer, but I feel like you are missing out on quite a lot of it. But that's why I like to have it on the most. I have everything the normal for when it comes to my camera looking up and looking down, so that's why I don't have inversion enabled. I disable camera shake just so that I don't get nauseated from either it's my skill or some other player skill or an NPC enemy skills that's shaking my screen violently. I have free camera enabled so when I'm running around, my camera isn't always following my character. This is really useful for when I'm trying to run left and I want to still look at an enemy behind me and I don't have to click on or hold my mouse button down to see that. I have first person camera mode enabled because I find it to be really helpful when it comes to certain jumping puzzles. So that's why I have it enabled. It also gives me a better perspective as to where I'm landing on the ground. I have adjust camera height to my character's height. It's just something that I have. It doesn't really change much since I am running a human female. Just know that it could be more effective when you're running a Norn or a Asura. Next thing, ground targeting. You want to have this with range indicators, so my skills will activate as soon as I let go of the button. By default, it is set on default where you have to click on the skill, aim, and then left click again to confirm, and I find that to be way too time consuming. So if you're not used to fast with range indicator, get used to it, because it is a big difference with how much damage and how reactive you can be. Double tap to evade disabled. Please have this disabled. You're going to accidentally evade when you click on your WASD keys, and you'll probably either run out of energy, endurance, or you might evade and kill yourself. I have AoE rings enabled just because I would like to see the area where I'm blasting. Double click and right click to attack and interact. I think this is more of a Microsoft thing, where if I right click on something, I'm just used to hitting the target, or whenever I'm double clicking, it just tells my character to auto attack. That just, to me, is more natural. But what I do have is I have stop auto attacking on target change, because I don't want to accidentally target something else and be hitting it. Especially true when it's like a bunch of neutral monsters nearby and you don't want to aggro them when you accidentally tap target or auto target something else. And which brings to the next thing, I have auto targeting disabled. I don't want this, because it'll just make my character target something else whenever something is dead. I suppose it's good for farming lots of mobs, but I think it's more trouble than good for my taste. I also have promote skill target disabled, just so that I don't accidentally target something that I don't want to target. Melee attack assist, what this does when you have it enabled is if you target something, you won't be able to move past it. Right now I'm pressing my W key, but I'm not moving an inch, unless if I'm forcing my character to move around sideways using A and D. I like to have this disabled because when I'm running solo builds or soloing certain bosses and stuff, I want to be able to position the boss itself by going inside or outside of its red circle. And so if I'm not doing that, then I'm not repositioning the NPC or the boss the way that I like to do it. Next thing that I have enabled is lock ground target at maximum skill range. Please use this, because this is something that took ANET 2 years to develop. What it essentially does is that you're able to target at the most longest distance with your skills without having it indicate, oh, you're out of range or something. Which right now I'm doing a poor job at showing, but here you go. This is what it usually looks like. If you have it disabled, you'll see a red indicator and you'll get out of range, which usually means that you're either going to fail at using that skill and get killed because you're trying to escape something. So please have it enabled. I don't have snap ground target to current ground target enabled, just because if I have something targeted, my number 5 skill for Volt, for example, will automatically target this. And sometimes I would like to be able to use my Volt and position myself a little better. Let's say if I want to position myself to be behind him and then attack from behind to get that extra damage done for thieves or whatever class you're playing. So that's why I have it disabled. And then I also have allow skill retargeting disabled, just because I don't want to aggro anything that I don't want to aggro besides the targets that I'm hitting itself. So yeah, anyways, that's it. That's all the things that I have for my options. If you have any questions, please comment down in the comment section below. I will try to answer them as soon as I can. Take care, everyone. Happy holidays. Like, subscribe, and take care. Have a good day. Bye.